second.
Go ahead.
Van, you're good?
Yeah, we had that document up, didn't we? Oh, here it is. Yes, sir. Sure, there we go.
Evening.
Good? Ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Tony? Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Town of Port Royal public hearing. The first order of business tonight is we have ordinance 20-21-28, an ordinance to rezone approximately 95.881 acres of real estate located in the county to be county tax district, map 6, parcel 3C in Beaufort County, South Carolina, to be rezoned from T3 neighborhood to T1 nature preserve. We've had a presentation on this last month, and it is up on the screen. Noah, anything to add or any changes?
Nothing new, no changes.
Nothing. Do we have any comments from the public?
Yes.
Any comments submitted? Hearing none, we'll move on to the second item of business. The second item of business is ordinance 20-21-29, an ordinance to adopt a revised business license ordinance in accordance with the Business License Standardization Act of 2020, Act number 176. There'll be a presentation later tonight on this same ordinance. Any comments from the public? Seeing none, anything submitted? Nothing submitted. The next item of business is ordinance 20-21-30, an ordinance to adopt the Fifth Amendment to a development agreement adopted by ordinance 2001-46 and thereafter amended by ordinance 2002-6, ordinance 2016-24, and ordinance 2019-17. I think we have an update to this one that needs to be, can we get a presentation on this one?
Yes, sir. Last week's workshop, I went through this with you and I identified the area that is involved in this, these two areas over here. And I realized I had made an error, a typo in one place in that I had said that all the parcels were on the north side of Highway 170. One of the parcels is adjacent to, not on the north side, which is, it's included as a tax parcel listed in there. I just should have said along and adjacent to 170 instead of all on the north side. So I will make that correction with the council's permission, but the actual area is correctly identified in through there. If you want me to tell you the public, the reason for this Fifth Amendment, if you were at the workshop, is we have had some problems getting an easement to tie into the sewer, which is located across the street 170, the receiving manhole that's going to service that area up there, working with the water authority to get an easement from the owners across the street. The town has helped out over the last 18 months, 2 years we've been trying to get this. So we've been at a standstill with a permitted project trying to get the sewer hooked up. The term expires in late October of this year. So this adds up and tacks on the lost time to the end of this so that we have time to get this easement through the Water and Sewer Authority, which we've been promised is coming, so that we can continue on with the development on that side of the road, which is under contract. Has already been through design review with the town up to the point that we could get there before having the actual sewer easement in hand, and so we can say that the capacity is there, that we can say that the connection is there. And that's what we're requesting the town approve as this amendment.
Very good. We may have more questions for you when we actually have first reading, but this is for the public information at this point. Any comments from the public? Hearing none. Anything submitted? The other thing I would like to add is this is a development agreement. Development agreements do require 2 public hearings. We will have a second public hearing on this on October 6th at 6:30. That ends our public hearing section of our meeting, and we're going to go directly into our regular September council meeting. Our first item of business is our Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody please stand and face the flag.
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Councilman Ashmore, lead us in an invocation.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the many blessings of life. And Lord, we thank you for this opportunity that we could gather here tonight in this great town and do the business of our community. Lord, I ask that you be with each person here tonight and give them the courage, the wisdom, the words, and the discernment to make decisions that are pleasing in your sight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Next item of business is we have 3 sets of minutes that we need to get approved by council. The first set of minutes are from our public hearing on August 4th. Second set is a council workshop, August 4th, and then our regular council meeting of August 11th. Those minutes were in our packet. What's the pleasure of council?
I make a motion we adopt the minutes of the public hearing of August 4th, 2021, the minutes from the council workshop of August 4th, 2021, and minutes from the regular council meeting of August the 11th, 2021.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any deletions, additions, or discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It was unanimous. Next, we have a presentation on the business license standardization. Charlie Brownell from the Municipal Association. Charlie, always a pleasure to have you in front of council.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, it is great to be here in Port Royal this evening. I've been asked this evening to speak about business license standardization. And I'll admit that I will be brief or I'll be long. It's not an easy topic to go over. We have to reflect really back about a decade. Many business groups, community leaders question business license. Folks would love to not pay taxes, but realistically, let's understand that business license for our municipalities across the state, for your budget, range anywhere from 20 to 50% in some of our municipalities of your budget. So it's a critical source of revenue, and likely you would not be able to easily replace that revenue if it wasn't there. So through the last decade, we saw many proposals. And so the association came to the point that we had to work with you to protect your home rule right to set your own business license rates. And in order to do that, we conceded that the business community made some very good points. They argued with the state legislature that it was complex. They noted that many of our larger businesses that may operate in multiple jurisdictions, think of a pest control company. I'm sure you have a pest control company that may be headquartered, and they operate all over the low country. Well, they noted to the legislature that business license that may be under a certain due date in Port Royal. The town of Allendale had a totally different due date. Orangeburg had a totally different due date. And so we conceded that, yes, that makes it complex. And they also said, we have to hire an accountant to then go out, make calculations, and then make payments to each of these different municipalities. And if you think of about a large regional business, they could be operating in 30, 40, 50 municipalities. So there was validity to that point. And so out of all this came the Act 176, the Business License Standardization Act that was adopted last September and signed into law by the governor. Out of that, we have a standard business license date now, and you've already worked to move your dates, transition your dates. If you recall, y'all were on a calendar year, January 1 through December 31st. And I'm here to tell you that we have municipalities all over the place. So this is a good thing. The standard calendar year is now May the 1st through April 30th. And so you've already worked to transition to that. The next component of the law was the rebalance process. We operate under a system that's based on the North American Industrial Classification System. It's based on profitability. So the more profit that your business makes, and it's based on the IRS statistics that they get from millions of businesses every year, the more taxes you're going to pay. The less profitable, the less taxes that you're going to pay. And so the legislature said, okay, well, when you rebalance, we want to ensure revenue neutrality. And so tonight you have first reading consideration of an ordinance that would rebalance your rates to ensure revenue neutrality. That basically means what you collected last year, if the same gross were to occur, gross revenue, you would get the same practical purposes amount of business license revenue. But within that, there are winners and losers. Some will pay more, some will pay less, but you are revenue neutral. We have been working with, not all municipalities in our state have a local business license. I would say about 250 do. We've been working to get those within about a 1% neutrality range. And so we work with you. And so tonight, commend Brooke and your staff. Did a great job of working with us to get that data. We're presenting to you tonight an ordinance that has that revenue neutrality number in it. The last component is what is referred to as the business license portal. So on your behalf, the association hired a private a computer firm and wrote basically a credit card processing system, for lack of a better term. We turned that software over to the state of South Carolina, and so that software now sits on a server with the Department of Revenue and Fiscal Affairs. And so this coming year, 2022, that same pest control company, if they chose, don't have to, but if they chose and wanted to renew all 40, 50, 60 of their business license in every one of those municipalities, assuming those municipalities loaded their rates, could make one swipe. They would have to pay the processing fee to the credit card company like we all do with these type of systems. Your staff would then get a notice that X business is trying to renew their business license. You would still have the authority to approve or say, no, we need to see something, we don't have all the information. If you approve it, then the credit card goes through and the payment comes directly into your account. Again, it's just an option, but that's the goal, to be more business friendly to those entities. So the association has no role. We don't get the data. We have no part in, we don't get a payment. We just facilitated the protection of your home rule right to set your rates from year to year. So with that, I will be quiet, but glad to answer any questions of council. You've got until the end of the year to get this done. So that's kind of why we're here tonight.
I'll open it up to council. Charlie, any questions? I think the plan, Brooke, the plan for council was to hear this briefing of where we are. Then we're going to schedule an executive session to go over some of those business license fees specifically, because it is kind of a contract between the town and these businesses, because of that neutral, who's gaining, who's losing.
Certainly, you do not want to release individual business license information,
Right.
correct?
And that's part of what has to be discussed by council on how to handle some of those. Is that correct?
With speaking with Charlie, it seems that there really isn't too much that the town can do to benefit, to help businesses that will see an increase.
Okay.
We're still waiting to hear back from the city of Beaufort on how their numbers are looking, but we have some really increase into the thousands, as well as we see that with increases on the other side as well.
So we may be able to go straight from the first reading and the second reading without having that executive session. Well, that helps all of us now.
I would point, not to lengthen this, y'all through the years have kept up with your rates. You have continuously adopted and updated your rates. Commend you and your staff. With that, you're not seeing the big fluctuation of increases that we're seeing in some of our other municipalities. So yes, there are winners and losers, but it's not as significant as some of our other municipalities.
Very good. Anything further, council? Kevin?
Are we voting on this tonight?
It does come up in the agenda for first reading only.
Okay.
First reading only, yes.
We're on second.
It's on, it says, it's in the.
We're on second reading on this one? Okay, we're on second. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm just confused. So if we pass it on second reading, it's an ordinance. You were just talking about an executive session.
Well, there was an earlier conversation about having to have an executive session because of some of the losers and the winners, and whether or not the town had an option to do anything for them. It appears now the answer is no.
You can try to smooth it out the best you can, but there's always going to be winners and losers. There's no way to make it
Right.
perfect.
But you
And-
said we were better because we had been all along
Cor-
keeping ours up.
You,
so
you
it
don't,
makes it
you
easier to
don't
have a big
see,
swing.
you don't see the big pendulum swings that we've seen in other municipalities. But I want to be clear that when folks renew next year and they may see a slight bump, you may get those comments.
Some are more
So-
than slight.
But the other part, Kevin, we have time. And if we want to
That's
slow
what I-
down and want to talk at that, we can postpone this one to next month.
That's
And we
kind of
can
where,
do the
that's kind
executive
of where I was
session.
going.
We have time.
That's kind of where I was going. If
Brooke, 'cause Brooke
we had
got us
until
in-
the end of the year to do
Right.
this.
Brooke has gotten us in a very good position, and we're hearing from
Yeah.
Charlie, we're in a really good position.
So then why not
Thanks to
let's-
Devan and staff for keeping up with our rates. We can slow this down
Yeah.
1 month, and we can go ahead and have the executive session. We thought we were gonna have it, but we wanted to have Charlie's presentation first. Last week, we had an issue with the presentation, so we'll just slow it down
Yeah,
when we
I'd
get
be,
to that
I'd be in
part of the
favor of that,
agenda.
just slowing it down, having the session. If, like I said, if we get till the end of the year to get this passed.
And just for some more information, just to give you an idea, the businesses that will see an increase of $500 or more, there's 13 businesses in the town of Port Royal. We're talking of, right now, we have 1,029 businesses. The businesses that will see over $500 or over $500 of a decrease will be 22 businesses. So just to give you a little bit
Oh, thank you.
extra information.
Yep. Okay. Anything more?
Well, Brooke, you just answered my question because Van was alluding to a significant increase, and I think she just talked about it. So that's 22 businesses that will see a $500 or more increase.
Decrease.
Decrease.
22
Oh,
is
decrease.
decrease.
So the
13
others-
is an increase.
Okay, so we have 1,029 businesses total.
1,029.
Right,
For
1,000.
2021.
Okay, and so 22 will see a decrease,
22 will be a decrease,
a
yes, sir.
decrease of 500 or more?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I had
And 9 of those businesses, we took it a little bit further, and 9 of those businesses are local, 12 are corporate, and 1 is out of town. For the 13 businesses that will see an increase, 7 of the businesses are local owners, and 6 are corporate.
Average, what is that increase for those 13 businesses?
It ranged.
In range?
I
It
can,
varies between- okay.
yes, sir.
Okay, no window?
More than 500, less than 10,000.
I think based on the numbers that I recall, could be an increase of 3,000.
Okay.
That I can tell you is a corporate.
I'm not, and I won't quote you on it, so.
But there are some variables too. This has been a unique year for us, not only for COVID, but we've had a tornado go down our street that some of our businesses have been impacted with that.
But you have to put that 3,000 in perspective of the size of that business. I mean,
Correct.
that's-
Right.
So it's based on the size?
Yes.
That
Absolutely.
3% is a very
Based on the size, right.
small.
Okay, that helps, that helps me to understand a little better, so.
So executive session would allow us to dig into those details.
Right.
So it sounds like that's what the council's looking to do. When this comes up on the agenda, we'll make that motion.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Charlie, great job. Thanks
Yes,
for
sir.
everything
Good
you
seeing you
do.
again, Charlie.
Thank you, sir.
I have a request of council right now. We were going to go to council briefing, but I'd like to know if council would be willing to do an amendment to the agenda. Item 9C is a resolution recognizing the volunteer workers at the skate park. Do we have everybody here from Praise Assembly?
I'll move that we modify the agenda.
Do we have
to-
Pastor Jamie as well? He's not going to be able, is he trying to come?
I don't know, I wasn't getting any text out after the storm,
Okay.
so.
You want to move it now or later?
You think we should wait a little bit?
Yeah, we can wait a little bit.
All right, so if he walks in, let us know, we'll make an amendment at that moment in time,
Yes, sir.
okay? So we'll go on to our council briefing. Van?
Noah has a little bit of another commitment this evening, so I'm going to let him address any concerns that y'all may have or bring up any topics. I know that there was a question about the comprehensive plan,
Yes.
so I was going to let him address y'all specifically about that. And if you had any questions about any of the ordinances while he was here, we could do that also.
Great, thanks, Noel.
Thanks. The comprehensive plan, this is a 10-year update. It has been on the agenda for the Metro Planning Commission a few times and been pushed, once in June for the benefit of both myself and the technical committee, who did not get a chance to speak with me about it, which I believe we discussed before at a previous council meeting. It was on the August agenda for recommendation to council. Because we were going to be lacking one of the commissioners for the town, we decided to postpone again. So it is now on the September agenda. That will be up for a recommendation by resolution to council to adopt. After that, with the recommendation, it will come to council for a public hearing and then adoption by ordinance. If y'all have any questions about that status, happy to try and answer.
Is there going to be a presentation at the workshop?
There will be a presentation at the workshop, correct?
Very good. Council, questions about the status of where we are and why we are where we are? Very, very good. Thanks, Phil. Does anybody have any questions about any of the ordinances coming up later while Noah's still here? I think we're-
Got the Mobley Tract. I think that's actually it for things that I was involved with for this month. Oh, and the hazard mitigation plan as well.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Van, back to you.
Yeah, just real quickly, I want to touch on the porch issue relative to the manufactured housing. I had directed Mike, and he reached out to a couple of structural engineers to see if we could come up with a prototype that could be used for others. None of the structural engineers were willing to create a prototype that could be used for multiple mobile homes because of concerns they had about what's the model of the mobile home, where are you tying it in, what are the elevation changes. You know, there were a number of issues they had concerns about. They were not willing to put a stamp on something that could be replicated over and over again. So that's our dilemma. So right now, that's where we are. I mean, obviously, other than a
What does
potential.
that mean for the owner?
I'll just say,
hire an
the other
engineer.
issue that we've
Got to
had,
hire an engineer.
the other issue we've had in the past with manufacturers and dealers is that they do provide plans that have a porch that meets the regulations of the municipalities and the county. But they don't provide, it's not like here's this model of home and then here's this model of home with a porch. There's specific models that they have plans for porches. So if somebody doesn't like the model that has the porch, they're not going to tell that buyer, well, I wouldn't purchase that one without the porch because the town's not going to let you put it up. They're so in the past, my experience at the county, we had a meeting with the manufacturer or with the dealerships in the area. It seemed to help for a short period of time, so I don't know if there might be some. I don't really have a recommendation on what exactly to coordinate with them, but it might be helpful to sit down with the dealerships and try and work towards something that works for our code.
So for the resident in the town right now, the option again is to hire an engineer.
Correct.
If you wanted the roof portion of the porch,
And
building a deck, that's not necessary, correct?
And like in the circumstance that we've been discussing the last couple of months, it's an addition. But for any property owner in the individual mobile home overlay that wants to place a home on that lot, they're required by our zoning code to have an 8-foot deep porch, and the dealers don't have those readily available. So.
Okay. Thought we had an option?
Yeah, we tried. A few things, and then I'm going to turn it over to a couple people. Obviously, I sent y'all a separate folder on the ARPA, the relief, federal relief dollars. So we'll be pulling all that together. We have done whatever is necessary from a bureaucratic perspective to file and make ourselves eligible for the release of those funds. So hopefully we'll see that. Obviously, we continue to have the task force meetings to discuss how this will all be handled. You know, we've been meeting with other municipalities in the county to discuss the various federal pots of money for infrastructure, but now we're kind of in position for ARPA. The county did, through their lobbying efforts, talk about a potential match program where any dollars we commit for local infrastructure, maybe the state could conceivably match those dollars. So we'll see if that gets any traction. But overall, I'll keep you posted on how this progresses. And I think there's something further along in the agenda that y'all are approving in terms of appointing a designated point of contact.
And the ARPA money can be spent on,
Water, sewer, broadband, small business assistance, revenue replacement, some potential premium pay for employees that were working during the COVID pandemic. Broadband, I don't know if I mentioned broadband, but there's a very kind of a narrow window. Now, obviously, we all saw the governor announce that they was going to spend a significant amount of the state's money on widening 26 between Charleston and Columbia. I'm not sure how that's eligible unless he's leveraging the revenue replacement money to do that, because roads are not an eligible expenditure. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. So,
and it had been determined that sewer was storm and
yes.
sanitary.
Yes, exactly.
So we could use some stormwater.
Yeah, and I've asked Buford Jasper to give us an updated map of where sewer is not in Port Royal. So James reached out to GIS at BJWSA and is putting that together for us.
Very good. Council, any questions on the ARPA dollars? Anything else?
Yeah, a couple things. Brooke was working on the RFP for garbage. I think she wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. Yeah, might as well. I don't need to steal my microphone.
So, with looking at our contract for our garbage service, the expiration is December 11th of 2021. So I've been working on the RFP for us. Did a couple little tweaks to it, but it will be in the newspaper September 12th. The RFP will go out September 13th for contractors to submit proposals to us. We have a pre-meeting October 6th, and we should receive our proposals October 15th. So hopefully November 10th, we're looking for a council action item for a contract for garbage.
How long is the term of the contract?
We normally do 2 years, and then it can be extended by 1 year for up to 3 years.
I only asked that also, I thought we were trying to align some of these contracts with our fiscal areas.
No, that was landscaping, but this one, because of the termination date, we just wanted to go ahead and move forward with making it happen.
And that's fee-based. Yeah, it's fee-based as well, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Questions? Any changes to the RFP from what we're currently doing?
I just corrected a couple of things. We used to provide the recycle card, so I corrected that, so the contractor will be providing that. And then I also, I want to speak a little bit more with Buford Jasper Water to see if there's some sort of call service that we can put out if there's any changes to pickups or any sort of information like that, that they can call out to the residents to get information that way, as well as through our newsletter and Facebook page.
Are we addressing any penalties for delinquent service?
I believe that's already addressed in the contract.
Ben, have you and Brooke talked about the Water Authority? Have we checked with them that they're going to collect the revenue for the term of this contract?
We all know that's coming, but that's an agreement we're going to have to work out with the city ourselves and maybe join forces to address billing and collection.
Or do we change this RFP that they collect?
I don't think we're there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, as we're putting out the
Thank you,
RFP.
Brooke.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay. Thanks, Brooke.
And I'd like to give Greg Shelton, the floor, there he is. I think he wants to brief you guys on something that I thought would be appropriate during the council briefing.
Mr.
Good evening,
Mayor,
Greg.
Council, so no proposals, no task force. I'd like to make you all aware of something that we're working on for Port Royal for Christmas. It's an event that's going to be put on and produced by Port Royal Music Academy on 12th Street. And essentially what it is we're going to put together a concert and a Christmas village across the street over there by the vacant warehouse building behind Whit Suber's office that will soon apparently change hands. It's a charity event, and it's going to be supporting the Child Abuse Prevention Association's CAPA, which is also a Port Royal association here in town. The dates that we've picked so far are December 10th, which is a Friday night, through Sunday, December the 12th. Friday night will be the opening of the Christmas Village, where we'll have vendors. And then Saturday night would be the concert. There's a little bit more detail on that. And Sunday would be what we're just referring to as a kind of a wind-down acoustic music and probably a small band. The other thing different about this is that this is going to be the first one. We'll see how it works out. But we're inviting sponsors, i.e. vendors, to come participate in the village where they'll be allowed to set up their stands and sell whatever goods and fares they have. And then on Saturday night, there'll be sponsors, but they'll be inside the concert hall. We're referring to it as the venue. We've come up with a name for the event, and it's called Music from the Manger. And where that comes from is we're actually going to try to convert the inside of the building into look like a manger. I have no experience in set design, so take it from there. The manger is going to be in the abandoned building, converted into, again, a concert hall, again with the cooperation right now of Grey Ghost, and as I understand from speaking with Whit Suber, cooperation with the folks from Safe Harbor. And we thought it would really be a great event for Safe Harbor to be one of our sponsors and also invite them to Port Royal community, and where everybody's kind of coming in for the first time, hopefully shortly, after all of the documents have been signed. One of the other exciting things about this concert is going to be featuring a young lady who's actually a recording artist and is just finished recording a Christmas CD. She's a Port Royal resident, and she'll be the featured singer at the concert. We're also trying to do, as I spoke to Councilman Owens, trying to get a choir together of various churches here in Port Royal. Kind of invite them to participate in that. So it's going to be a little bit more than just kind of setting up a stage and two people getting up there and singing Christmas songs. I've listened to 3 of the songs off the track. They were just mastered on Tuesday. I listened to them on Wednesday, and I got to tell you, they are phenomenal. We really think this is going to be pretty interesting. We've talked to local radio stations. Matter of fact, we've got 88.9 to agree to promote the concert at Port Royal. We have 16 radio stations that we're going to contact, and we actually have some help from all places, Houston, Texas, that's going to help us with social media and getting the word out through that. We are inviting, as I said, local businesses as sponsors to help kind of offset some of the expense of what we're going to be doing. Volunteers. We spoke to Paris Island today. Thank you, John Hazel, for setting that up. But we spoke to Paris Island today. They're going to look for 14 volunteers or voluntoles, and 4 of them for security. So they're going to help us do the work that we have to do with inside the building to get it ready for the manger. And there are 2 points that I'd like to make before I sit down. One is that, given this is a charity event, we believe it will be it will attract. And I was really on the low side when I started to talk to people about this. We weren't really sure what to set up for. Right now, we're being told that between 200 and 300 attendees would probably show up for this type of an event, and they'll be coming into Port Royal that weekend And we'd really like this to be successful so that it could be another annual event for the community. And finally, we would like to ask Mayor DeVito if he would be the guest honor of opening up the concert and the village on Friday night.
Of course I would, and council, I would love for you to join me.
Yes.
We'll all be there.
So, that's it. I think it's pretty exciting. We're pretty excited about it. I mean, it started off with a simple question one day, and it's now evolved into all of this. So I think we're up to 57 things on the to-do list, so.
Hold on, Greg, a couple of questions, I'm sure. Do you need any road closures from us for this event?
We don't know right now. What we're trying to figure out is that if you can picture the building behind you, two openings that face the cruise ships, that's where the band will be positioned, and the audience will be in front of them, obviously. So the view will be of Battery Creek and of the water, and somewhere between that, we want to, we're trying to negotiate a large shipment of Christmas trees so that we can put that behind the building, light them up, and that'll be what everybody kind of sees from that point. So we're not sure what type of parking or crowd control, with basically things that everybody can kind of park on the area where behind the building and all of that. We're not sure. That hasn't been set up yet.
Okay.
But any other questions?
Yeah, council, questions?
That's a great idea.
Thank you.
Any luck on your choir yet?
Excuse me?
I said, any luck with your choir yet?
No. We have a sequence that we're trying to follow things in right now before you put the cart before the horse, and before we go out and try to recruit choirs. We have a few other things. We have licensing and things like that that we have to get out of the way.
Yes.
Kevin.
So,
Dan, I think that's it. Okay? All right.
Kevin.
Yes, sir.
so are you the point person on this, if we have any questions?
Yes, I somehow or another got voluntold about that too.
So you're
So
the
I am the point person
Chairman,
on
okay,
this.
all right. Well, that's great. I think it's a great idea. I know you'll do an awesome job. So
I'm pretty
that's cool.
excited about it. I
Yeah,
think it's going to be a lot of
Sounds very
fun.
Sounds really cool.
And so anybody who wants to volunteer, they should contact Greg.
Yes, so we have
Already done
our
mine,
business
so-
sponsors and our community sponsors, and anybody that feels like they want to volunteer any way or shape or form, physically, financially, we're open for it.
And good luck on the Christmas trees, because I'm hearing there's
Oh, my
a
God.
shortage of real Christmas trees. this
The
year.
last call I made was up to Canada. That's how far
Yes.
north it went, and they
There-
wanted $4,000 before you paid for the trees.
Yeah, there are
Just
local, I'm saying there are local vendors that cannot get Christmas trees this year.
Right.
But
That-
We're looking at number 2 instead of number 1.
So, right, so there's,
Right.
so there are number 2 type Christmas trees. There's one, which is, I guess, the pretty ones, and then there's a type 2, which are missing a lot part of their limbs.
Charlie Brown.
So.
Charlie Brown.
Charlie
you-
Brown.
you
Charlie
take-
Brown Christmas
So what I
trees.
was told is you take 3 number 2s and put them together, and they look like a number 1.
Or all the trees we had in the 70s.
So that Charlie Brown. Right.
Thank you, Greg.
Thanks.
Van?
I think we can call Conrad back up. I don't think the pastor's going to make it this evening, correct?
Pastor's not going to make it. Well, then I need a quick motion to amend the agenda.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you. Okay, so, Conrad. Let me read this first.
All right.
If that's okay with you.
Yes, sir.
A resolution recognizing the volunteers' work by the Praise Assembly for the repairs and improvement completed at the Town of Port Royal Skate Park. Whereas Praise Assembly became aware of the skate park being in disrepair, and whereas they approached the town about assembling a group of volunteers to coordinate the improvements to the skate park, and whereas Praise Assembly volunteers evaluated the repairs necessary, created a list of material required and repairs to be performed, and whereas more than 140 individuals and 20-plus hours of work to the skate park on July 9th and 10th. Now therefore it be resolved that the Town of Port Royal recognizes the extraordinary effort Praise Assembly coordinated repairing the skate park and is greatly appreciative for the work they performed fixing the skate park, which provides a significant recreation opportunity for both kids and adults in the Town of Port Royal. Done this date, 8th day of September 2021. To give this to you.
Thank you.
You have somebody for a photo, Tony?
Come on. Let me,
Yeah, we got phones.
We're gonna do the cell phone photo and do it this way.
1, 2, 3. Perfect.
And I know council has something, things that they would like to say to you about this. Councilman, councilwoman, anybody like to go first?
Comrade, I just want to say thank you. The skate park is very important to the people of this community, not just Port Royal, but Beaufort County as a whole. My grandchildren spend a lot of time there, so I do want to say thank you, and please thank everyone that helped in reconstructing that, because it's truly important to us. So thank you for all you did.
I echo my colleague over there. Definitely is one of the most used recreation facilities in the county. And we're grateful for that, and grateful for you and your group, Praise Assembly, for taking that interest and taking on that project. Thank you.
Kevin?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I love it in here, the approach to the town, so thanks for taking that initiative. That's great.
Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, comrade. Thank everybody for us. We really appreciate it.
Is it okay if I shout out a few people that
Yeah.
really came together? 'Cause
Absolutely.
I
Shout
kept
'em
hearing
out.
Praise Assembly, but we actually reached out to the community, and one of the local skateboarders got us the corporate sponsors. So we had a company out of Charleston that donated brand-new grind rails for the ramps and welded them, put them in, did everything for us. That's Transformer Rails out of Charleston. And then Skate Light gave us basically 20 free sheets. If you remember how much Skate Light costs,
Yes.
that's a big deal. That they would do that. And then also the Port Royal Masonic Lodge 242 provided food and drinks at lunchtime. And then obviously various people from the community, not just our church, but we had people from Hilton Head come all the way out and serve. So I just wanted to make sure those people were recognized. Corey Gibson was the one who got those corporate sponsors. He's up there all the time. He skates all the time up there. And so it was not possible without the community coming together. So it wasn't just the church, it was the community. So we appreciate the honor, and this is an honor, but I also wanted to honor those who helped us. So thank
If you
you.
could get those names to Brooke, please, we'll pen a little letter thanking them from the town as well.
Okay,
I'll
get
thank
you
you
a
for
list.
everything.
thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Okay, we'll go back to our normal agenda, and we have second reading ordinances coming up. The first one is ordinance 2021-28, an ordinance to rezone approximately 95.81 acres of real estate located in Beaufort County, described as Beaufort County Tax District 110, Map 6, Parcel 3C in Beaufort County, South Carolina, to be rezoned as T3 neighborhood to T1 natural preserve.
I make a motion that we adopt ordinance 2021-28.
We have a
Second.
motion to adopt, we have a second. Any further any comment from the public?
I just wanted to add something real quick.
Go.
Dean Moss apologized for not being here this evening on behalf of the foundation. He had a conflict, and just want to let you know.
Thank you. Any further discussion from council? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That is unanimous. Our second item of second reading is ordinance 20-21, an ordinance to adopt and revise the business license ordinance in according with the Business License Standardization Act of 2020, Act Number 176. Pleasure of council.
2021-29.
2021-29.
Like I said, I'm excited about the business license standardization. That's going to, I think, really help and make things more efficient, considering that our conversation earlier dealing with the business taxes. At this time, I'll make a motion that we postpone ordinance 2021-29 until after we've had an executive session on it.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Can we schedule that for a workshop in October, please? Thank you. Next item of business is our first readings. First ordinance is 20-21-30, an ordinance adopting the Fifth Amendment to the Development Agreement adopted by ordinance 2001-46 and thereafter amended by ordinance 2002-6, ordinance 2016-24, and ordinance 2019-17. We held a public hearing on this earlier this evening, and we've been briefed. What's the pleasure of council?
Did
you say there would be we have another public hearing on it?
We will have, because this is an amendment to a development agreement requires 2 public hearings. That is currently scheduled for October 6th, which then would be the following week, we would have the second reading,
And when
which is
does,
just within the timeline for the
I was about to say, what's the deadline?
October 30th. There, we've got the applicant present if you have questions.
That was really it. You know, I think there's still some questions on it, but just to move it along, because it will have to go to a second reading and a second workshop.
Correct, it's going to have, so here it'll be a second public hearing, a second workshop, and a second reading.
Second reading.
There are 3 items.
And you are coming up on a deadline at the end of October. I will make a motion to pass, that we adopt ordinance 2021-30.
We have a motion to adopt. Do we have a second? Second. We have a motion and a second. Because we had a public hearing, I'm not going to ask for public comment. Any further discussion from council? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is unanimous.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to be excused. I had a meeting last night. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next item of business is ordinance 2021-31, an ordinance to authorize the town manager to convey excess real property to facilitate construction of a sidewalk within the town described as Beaufort County Tax District 110, map 11, parcel 105A, approximately 407 feet on Old Shell Road. Dan, you got a little presentation for us on this one?
I can't see you.
This,
Sorry, Dan. Brooke,
Sorry, I
you got
don't have a
presentation
mic.
for us on that one? We're gonna get used to Brooke doing these now.
So this is a sidewalk on Old Shell Road. It's a 407 feet of sidewalk that we'll be constructing over there. This is within the town's construction policy. Any questions by council?
I have none. Will this tie, are we gonna, we're gonna have a missing gap between the houses that were just recently built on Old Shell, 1510 and this? Am I thinking right?
I am not sure. I'll
Because
find
if I
out.
remember correctly, the 3 houses that were built on Old Shell Road at 1512, we did an ordinance to convey excess property
Correct.
there.
Yes. I'm not sure
And then we're gonna have
about
this one
1510.
here, so we're gonna have that little slight miss at 1510.
I'll check on that for
Yeah,
you,
maybe we
sir.
can work with one of these 2 contractors to see if we can't close the gap rather than having a gap.
Yeah, I'd love to see it keep going all the way up Old Shell Road.
Eventually, all the way around, but I'd hate to leave that short little gap right there when either of these projects come forward. Maybe we can find some CIP dollars to help that out. I think council might want to dig into if there's a pot somewhere. Very good. Any questions for Brooke?
No questions. I make a motion that we adopt ordinance 2021-31.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Next item of business is ordinance 20-21-32, an ordinance amending Chapter 2 Administration, Article 6, Boards and Committee Commissioners, Division 3 Redevelopment Commission of the Code of Ordinance for the Town of Port Royal, South Carolina, to update the membership, the terms, and the jurisdiction. Again, this is first reading. This will have to have a second reading and public hearing.
Right. And yeah, the amendments that are included basically would reduce the membership from 7 to 5. And then as far as jurisdiction goes, you would be defining it as property fronting Rebo Road from Johnny Morale Circle / Mossy Oaks Road to the Bell Bridge. Basically the commercial corridor from Burger King to the bridge. And I think we have a map that defines or shows this a little. There we go.
There it is.
There you are. That being obviously Mossy Oaks Road, Johnny Morale Circle to the bridge.
I move that we approve ordinance 2021-32.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Council, have any questions for
I got a
Dan?
few questions.
Go.
So I understand we're going from 7 to 5, that's what we're talking about?
It's in this, the current, yeah.
Right, so how many people how many sitting members do we currently have?
2.
2. Okay. And it's open to residents and business owners?
Correct.
Okay, are there any other stipulations or? Okay.
So I
And
guess,
how long is the term?
I think they are,
2 years.
yeah, 2 years.
Okay.
I was just looking at staggering, but that's what they are. They're 2-year terms.
so I guess, you know, my thought with the way this was read and what we're doing, that we'll re-advertise for basically all 5 seats, obviously with the 2 members. If they want to narrow their focus down to this, they'd reapply, they would be considered it as well. But we'd re-advertise, because now we may have a total different group of people versus what was available before. That's, in my mind, I'm thinking, that we re-advertise for the redevelopment commission with this, under this new ordinance, when it finally does pass it. Still have more to go. And then we'll probably have to do something with staggering that. We probably need to think about that a little bit.
Yeah, so all the seats don't come up at once.
Well, they will,
Yeah,
the
Because if we
3
read-
seats that are being filled,
And those 2
we'll have to evaluate where they were in their term. So the
Okay.
staggering may happen. just
Naturally, but
because- yeah.
we'll have some leeway to do some staggering.
Right, yeah.
I think we have to do that for the commission to be,
If we currently have 2 members, I don't see why they couldn't continue their terms, and the new 3 would be the alternate.
right, but I think we need to ask them,
Right.
do you want to serve in this revised
Right.
zone?
Right.
I think that's a question we need to ask them, because it's, the process has changed, what they applied for is
Right.
different now, right?
And then we've got a member of council that sits on that.
Well, I go to the meetings, I mean,
Okay.
I'm not on the board,
Right.
I'm the
Not a
liaison.
voting.
Liaison.
Yeah.
Okay. And then staff attends the meetings as well?
And then we were gonna have
When we
two
can.
ad hoc, remember, either
That's- yeah.
Beaufort Jasper or Power Company or somebody.
I think we'll let the commission figure out who that is.
So 5 plus the 2 ad hocs?
Right.
Plus council, plus staff, okay. I'm fine with that.
Okay. There'll be public hearing on this, so we'll open it up to the public when we do that public hearing. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion, questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. It's unanimous. We have a council action. We have an appointment for the municipal election. With single appointment, we've got Dr. Lawton, present again. Thank you, please come forward. What's the pleasure of council?
Mr. Mayor, I would make a motion that we appoint Dr. Jacqueline Lawton to the board, and welcome.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any further comments or discussion? I know we all want to say thank you for coming forward and being willing to do this.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited about it and ready to go to work.
I see you want
And to make it
your personal
I did.
personal photographer, would you like
Get it out.
I did.
would you like a shake of hands or anything for a picture? But let's make this official and call for the vote, please. Let's call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And now we'll go ahead.
Thank you
You brought
so
your- you
much.
brought a
Thank you.
photographer, we'll take a picture.
Thank you for serving.
We appreciate it.
Thank you, and welcome to the commission.
Excellent.
Thank you, council. We have some resolutions this evening. Let me get them on top. Sorry about that. So the first resolution is Resolution 7-20-21, designating an authorized representative and contact person for the purpose of the American Rescue Plan. So I'll read this into the record. Whereas the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, ARPA, appropriated $19.53 billion in state dollars for the distribution of non-entitled units of local government, which are local governments typically serving a population of under 50,000. And whereas the town of Port Royal, South Carolina, the municipality is an NEU for the purpose of ARPA and expects to receive funds pursuant to the ARPA appropriation. And whereas the ARPA requires the municipality to designate an authorized representative to approve and sign documents to make certification requirements by ARPA and otherwise act of a municipality designated and lawful appointment and agent of ARPA. And whereas ARPA further requires the municipality designee and contact person to receive official communications and notices, now therefore it be resolved as follows. Section 1, Mr. Van Willis, town manager of the municipality, is hereby designated as the municipal authority representative pursuant to ARPA. The authorized representative is hereby authorized to direct and do all necessary, including without limitations, to sign documents, make certifications, and make regular reports to council and otherwise on behalf of the municipality to receive the expended funds pursuant to the appropriation by council and ARPA rules. The authorized representative is Mr. Van Willis, town manager. Pleasure of council.
Move that we approve or adopt Resolution 7-2021.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
What do we know about this guy?
What do we know about this guy?
Second.
Do you want to be, do we do an interview?
Just kidding.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
We're going to
Aye.
vouch for him tonight, Kevin.
We're going to vouch for him tonight. The next resolution we have is Resolution 8-20-21, a resolution of the Town of Port Royal adopting the 2020 Low Country Natural Hazard Mitigation Plan. Whereas the Town of Port Royal recognized the threat to natural hazards posed to people and property within the town, and whereas the Town of Port Royal has been an official participant in the planning process of the Natural Hazard Mitigation Plan, hereby known as the 2020 Low Country Hazardous Mitigation Plan, prepared by the Low Country Council of Governments in accordance with the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000, and whereas the 2020 Low Country Natural Hazardous Mitigation Plan identifies mitigation goals, actions to reduce or eliminate long-term risks to people and property in the town of Port Royal and from their impacts and future hazards of disaster, whereas adopting by Port Royal Town Council demonstrates their commitment to hazardous mitigation and achieving the goals outlined in the 2020 Low Country Natural Hazardous Mitigation Plan. Now therefore be it resolved by the Town of Port Royal, South Carolina, that Port Royal Town Council endorses and adopts the 2020 Low Country Natural Hazard Mitigation Plan. The resolution shall become effective September 8th of 2021. Pleasure of council.
Move that we adopt Resolution 8-2021.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all signify by saying aye. Aye. And it reminded me of the commercial where the tongue-tie guy needs a little more time to get his practicing. I was having a problem with that phrase. We've already done item C, so we'll move on now to important information and dates. Brooke or Van?
Yeah, Monday, September 13th at 5 p.m., the Municipal Election Commission. Tuesday, September 14th at 6:30 p.m., Parks and Recreation. Saturday, September 18th at 6 p.m. is the, I believe, the final concert of the fall series, Big Al and the Heavyweights. And then Saturday, September 25th at 11 a.m. to 5 is Oktoberfest. I don't know if you want to brief them on what you've got planned and.
One more time coming up.
Well, before you get started, Dr. Lloyd, we're putting you to work right away.
First thing Monday.
Yep.
Putting you to work right
5
away.
o'clock.
So September 25th, I'm sorry, for Oktoberfest, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. We'll be having our event along Paris Avenue, starting up at the Port Royal Elementary School. We'll have about 60 classic cars. We're pushing 25 craft vendors. We have so many crafters right now. Food vendors are still We're still working on food vendors. We do have a good group, but I'd like to get a couple more. We have the Rhinelanders, who are, you'll get your Oompa on. They're on from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then we have Dark Waters Project, which is a group from Nashville. They'll be coming in from 2:30 to 5 p.m. We also have Jane Richardson's dance studio that will be dancing at 2 o'clock. Not only do we have the classic cars, we have the Bikers Against Bullies, some really great sponsors. Kids Zone will have that this year. Since we sold the shed, we figured we'd try to bring it in front of the town hall and, you know, show off our nice grass area. And then I plan on putting on a lot more tables and chairs for people to sit and relax and listen to the music as they're eating their bratwurst. So hope you guys can all come out. And we are still looking for sponsors. So if any, or not sponsors, sponsors too, but volunteers. So if, please spread the word.
Maybe I need to bring out.
What were the times on that again?
11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Thank you.
Questions?
Thank you.
Good details there. Any other important dates anybody wants to bring up? If not, we'll go to council comments.
Dates, I know it's not in Port Royal, but there are a few 9/11 memorials coming up on Saturday. St. Mark's is having one in the morning, I think at 8:20. 8:40 was when the first plane hit the first tower. They're having an event, and then 7 o'clock that night at City of Beaufort and Henry Chambers Park. So there are some 9/11 memorial events coming up on Saturday.
Can we get the St. Mark's information, and maybe Sean can do some postings on that, please?
Yes, sir.
Make sure we get that out. Council comments. Councilman
I just want to say a great job with fireworks this past Friday night. It was well done, well received, great crowd,
Good food.
good food.
They had enough lighters, so they were good.
Right, good job.
We brought an extra Bic lighter this time.
I was
Good
standing there.
fireworks and
fingers
street
crossed.
music. It was a good weekend in Port Royal, that's for sure. So thank y'all, thank you to staff, thanks for everything you do for us.
Anything? Nothing. Mary Beth? Kevin, anything else?
No, just thank you to everybody for being here, and again, reiterate, Councilman Ashmore, I've heard from a lot of people about the fireworks show, so.
And I did sit at Fripp and watch them, and they were just as pretty over there as they were here.
It was a very good evening. I was extremely nervous to the point that
Oh,
they
yeah.
started going off. I can tell you that. I'm not sure that I had another apology.
So what I didn't tell you is that we had, our shooter got stuck behind a security gate, and I had to call this national security company to get him in. So I didn't want to worry you with that. But so-
Thank you.
God.
You were standing next to me, but thank you
Yes.
for that.
Well, I was already out of town.
You were
So I
happy.
didn't have to worry about being
Go ahead.
run out of town.
Van, what's the status on our truck, of Jeff's truck?
We're working on it.
Both of them are still down?
Yeah. And we looked into renting one. It's $11,000, so we'll put that towards the repair instead.
Okay.
But we did have residents that loaded the truck for us over here in the parking lot. They put yard debris in it, so it's serving its purpose right now, unofficially.
Do we need to reach out to some of our neighborhood governmental officials, see if anybody can loan us something?
We
we
may
at that
do that.
point?
Yeah, but I asked Jeff to explore the rental option, and that's what it came back with today, so
Okay.
we may need to go that route. And we're still, it's parts, getting parts.
Listen, it's
Tough
down to
right now.
Christmas.
You have a new
truck?
It's all the way down to Christmas trees.
Yeah,
as
it's
far
covered
as
by
getting
warranty,
stuff.
but it's still, you still gotta get the part.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't get the parts.
Yeah, it's like a year old.
Yeah, the concert series has been fantastic. Brooke, I know that you spend a lot of time on that. It's been a very good one. We're looking forward to the last one. Sorry it's coming to an end. Honestly, the last week's was very good. It was a very enjoyable one. Hearing nothing else, I'll open it up to public comment. Does anybody have anything they'd like to bring forward? Ms. Howard, please. Councilman Howard is present. You're always welcome.
Announcement, pickleball is now available at Southside Park and Shell Point Park. So they converted one each of the sides, so there's 2 courts and 2 courts.
4 courts.
So I hope everyone who wants to go will participate. The Parks and Recreation is going to have some public meetings probably in October about their comprehensive plan, so we hope if there's a lot of support for bigger pickleball courts somewhere else, people will turn out for that, and/or other uses of current facilities, such as Elderly Field and the building there. You know, if some people want to see that used for other uses, that would be the time to do it. But as soon as I get some dates for those public meetings, I'll let everyone know. And they can comment online too, of course.
Did they resurface Shell Point?
Yes.
Wow,
they
that's
did.
fantastic.
That was in really
Yeah.
bad shape too.
Yeah, that's really good.
So there's good. It's a good place
Yeah.
to play tennis now too.
Thank you, Councilman
Great,
Howard.
thank you.
Thanks for
Thanks,
coming to the
Alex.
meeting. Fire chief, come on up.
Fire chief.
Yep.
Fire chief,
Yeah,
there he
fire
is. He's
chief.
hiding.
Sitting in the corner there, I didn't even
Hey.
recognize you. I know that we thanked you, and you know, we look forward to working with you like we have with the past fire chiefs.
Yes, sir.
Our fire department, the town of Port Royal City View Fire Department is a model. I've said it before publicly, and I'll say it again for others to look at, and we look forward to a long relationship.
Yeah, great. I hope we got, a lot of moving parts, so we have a new truck coming here soon, so I hope to have a nice new fire truck to showcase for you, maybe by next council meeting in October. No promises yet.
Christmas
We're getting close.
A new Christmas sleigh? Is this a new Christmas sleigh? Is that what we're talking about? Very good.
So we're looking forward to it, and I agree, this has been a great relationship with Beaufort and Port Royal, a model for much other services, not just emergency services, to look after, so I agree and looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Oh, shoot.
Thank you, Chief.
Congratulations
Appreciate it, Chief.
again.
New chief,
Thanks for being
chief, former chief. We're getting confused on who's going forward.
In-
Any other public comment?
And I got one last thing when you get.
Go ahead.
We talked about the Pinckney Porter Chapel. Look at your calendars for November 6th, 13th, 20. Yes, 6th, 13th, or the 20th in November, and let us know soon.
Well, let's take a moment.
And preferably something at 2 or 3 p.m. after farmer's market.
You said 6th, 13th, or 20th?
Yeah.
All right, I gotta look.
Do we just want to send an email and everybody responds to it?
6:13.
Yeah.
What's 6:13?
Yes, let us know.
6th, the
Yeah.
6th is a Saturday, the 13th, the 20th,
Yep.
and the 27th? Just the 20th?
No, we don't want to mix up with Thanksgiving.
Correct.
6:13.
I'm good with the 6th and the 13th. No problems whatsoever.
I gotta check a couple.
That's
things.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know.
Send an email.
And I
You
can
let us
make
know
the
what Dabo's
20th if I
doing.
have to. I can adjust. I'm okay with
You
you.
do whatever.
We'll have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you. Agenda's complete. No second required. Thank you, everybody.